Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakahak Ladash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and I'm going to start it in Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. And this is Yahawashi, the Son of the Most High, whom the world ignorantly refers to as so-called Jesus, telling his disciples in the past of, the end time signs to look for, to know that his second coming was nigh and the kingdom of heaven was at hand. And like it says in Romans chapter 15, everything written aforetime was written for our learning. He was really speaking to his disciples today who are currently living in these times, the last days, really the last seconds of the last days. For nation shall rise against nation, race wars. And we can clearly see, racial tensions are, growing, steadily out here. And kingdom against kingdom, these major nations against each other, which we can clearly see with what? Russia against the West, these European nations in the U.S., the U.S. against China, the U.S. and Israel against Iran. Actually, let me jump up one. Matthew 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, which that's damn sure happening. The situation with Israel and Iran and its proxies, rumors of war with China and Taiwan. You've got the war in Ukraine taking place and rumors of war of World War III, which, World War III will happen. And, the case can be made that we're in the beginning of it right now. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, food shortages are coming, and pestilences. You have the Curious George, making a comeback. You've got the avian sneeze. We can't forget about the C019, disease X, etc., etc., and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, and what I'll be dealing with in this video is the earthquakes in diverse places. Which brings me to my article on the economiccollapseblog.com. Why has the United States been shaken by so many unusual earthquakes lately? Because it's end times prophecy to let us know that this current age of the rulership of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites, is almost over, and that the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of heaven, under the true children of Israel, who are known as the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, is about to begin. It is getting very difficult to ignore all the shaking that is going on. Over the past few months, there have been very unusual earthquakes all over in diverse places, the United States. And outside of the United States, earthquakes are happening damn near daily all across the planet. I believe there was just a major one in Japan. As you will see below, there have been noteworthy quakes on the West Coast, on the East Coast, near our northern border, and near our southern border. Of course, all of this comes at a time when the entire planet is being shaken by unusual seismic activity. There you go. Is all of this unusual seismic activity building up to something? If so, what does that mean for all of us? On Tuesday night, a magnitude 5.2 earthquake that shook Southern California made headlines all over the nation. An earthquake northwest of Los Angeles shook a large swath of Southern California on Tuesday night, but there were no immediate reports of damage. The U.S. Geological Survey said the 5.2 magnitude temblor struck at 9:09 p.m. and was centered near Mettler, an unincorporated area in Kern County, about 85 miles, 137 kilometers from downtown Los Angeles. Following the quake, Dr. Lucy Jones went on television and revealed that her initial assessment was that the quake was not associated with any known fault. I thought that was quite strange. Now I'm going to jump down. The shaking was felt over a very large area. In fact, it was being reported that the earthquake was felt by those living in Ventura, Simi Valley, Camarillo, Santa Clarita, Encino, Hollywood, Santa Monica Hills, North Hollywood, and Woodland Hills. Subsequently, there have been more than 200 aftershocks in the same region. California is known for earthquakes, but we are also seeing significant shaking in areas of the country that are not known for earthquakes. Again, those diverse places. For example, the state of New Jersey has been shaken by more than 200 earthquakes over the past 3 months. It's not known for being a hotspot for earthquakes, but New Jersey has been rattled by more than 200 tremors in the past 3 months. In the middle of the country, a magnitude 2.9 earthquake was just recorded directly under Lake Michigan. Meanwhile, so many earthquakes have been happening in one county in Texas that a state of emergency was formally declared. So many earthquakes have struck the West Texas county of Scurry in the past week. More than 100 at last count. Local officials have declared a state emergency. Scurry County Judge Dan Hicks wrote in his Friday declaration of disaster that since the first earthquake, registering magnitude 4.9, was felt the night of July 22nd, damage has been found throughout Scurry in businesses and residences. So, this article is about to jump into another point I'm going to hit, but before we move on, this is 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha, chapter 9. I start at verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, and the men of the Lord are measuring the times diligently by watching the news and reading the scriptures and filtering the news through the scriptures to put up video epistles like this and go out to prophesy on the highways and byways to let first and foremost our people know, and then the rest of you nations of the times you're living in. Thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, the times of Jacob's trouble, when Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is about to judge you people on this planet for all the wickedness you've been committing, especially in the United States of America. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes in diverse places, which we just read about some of them, and uproars of the people in the world, and you've got protests in Venezuela right now, protests in the UK over, the deletion of those 3 girls by that Kenyan, Hamite. And, I'm sure there are even more protests taking place all across the planet, which are only going to intensify as this economic situation out here and this societal collapse situation increases. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And we can clearly see the end is manifesting because all these end time signs we were told to look for are either in the process of taking place or taking place as we speak. But now, back to the article. Global events are starting to spin out of control, and there's a tremendous amount of concern about what is coming next. And we can tell you exactly what's coming next. Lamentations, mournings, and woe, the Most High about to visit this place and judge you people. Earlier today, I came across a CNN article that discussed the fact that many among the elite are now constructing 21st century fortresses in anticipation of what is ahead. And I'm actually going to jump to that article on CNN.com. Operating theaters, bowling alleys, and home cinemas. Not happy with safe rooms? The super rich are building luxury fortresses. And this article was published on August 7th, 2024. The hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, just as that article on the Economic Collapse blog was posted on August 7th, 2024. Few things appear to soothe the existential anxieties of the super rich like a bunker designed to withstand anything short of total nuclear Armageddon. And the bunkers and safe places that the super elite have set up, and they are going to withstand nuclear war, which is coming, because they're going to survive to be the first fruits of slavery in the kingdom of heaven. Yet it's no longer enough for the security conscious billionaire to stick an impenetrable safe room in the basement where it might sit empty forever. In today's uber prime properties, bunkers have gone seriously upmarket and high tech, in some cases growing to the extent that whole homes are becoming 21st century fortresses because, those in the know see that very bad times are coming. We've seen a lot more of a focus on entertainment, said Al Corby, who has been at the forefront of secure luxury for 50 years as the president and founder of SAFE, strategically armored and fortified environments based in Virginia in the U.S. If you're going to be able to survive underground, we want you to be having fun. Corby, who helped secure a 27-floor private home in Mumbai for the billionaire industrialist Mukesh Ambani, whose son Anant recently made headlines with his lavish wedding celebrations, is currently working on a sprawling house on a 200-acre wooded plot at an undisclosed location in the U.S. He is understandably tight-lipped about many aspects of his work, and this guy is building that bunker in the U.S., that fortress, for naught, because everybody in the United States of America, doesn't matter if you're in a NORAD, doesn't matter if you're in a deep underground bunker, when those nuclear missiles hit this place, America and everyone in it that's not of the 1/3, or the elect that's in America are going to be wiped off the face of the earth. Jump around a bit. The very wealthy have always been targets, whether from intruders, kidnappers, or assassins. Now fears have grown to include eat the rich, anti-capitalist activists, extreme weather caused by climate change, terrorists, unforeseen apocalyptic events, and a perennial pestilence threat that was made all too real in 2020. Graham Harris, a founding partner at SHH Architecture and Interior Design in London, one of the world's leading high net worth design studios, said he too is responding to shifting demands. Not long ago, clients tended to build the bathrooms of their primary suites to withstand attacks. Interior walls would be made of concrete, and secure doors were designed to blend with the home's decor. Better to be able to pop next door at night than to try to race down to a far-off basement. Now they're really grown in size and stature, said Harris, who often now secures the whole suite rather than just the bathroom, allowing clients to cocoon themselves with the flick of the bedside switch. We also did a house in Highgate, an upmarket area in North London, where the cinema was actually the safe room with its own air filtered supply, secure doors, and kitchenette, and a fully stocked area that could sustain a family for a week. Corby said billionaires have always been wise to danger, but he has now noticed far more inquiries from millionaires who who might traditionally have been content with standard security measures. For this market, existing rooms can be secured for a few $1,000s. For hundreds of thousands, prefabricated modular steel bunkers can be dropped into the ground under a new build house. I'll read these last two paragraphs. Some of the rooms she has overseen the creation of are well equipped as operating theaters at the best hospitals with decontamination chambers, wardrobes of personal protective equipment, and pharmacies stocked with emergency medicines, as well as vitamin compounds tailored to residents to help them withstand long periods of isolation. And hey, that just goes to show, these millionaires and billionaires, and best believe the elites, are just even more doubling down on these bunkers, retreats, and other safe spaces to ride out the coming calamities, the coming chaos. Forget nuclear bombs. The thing that we should be prepping for is real life, Corby said. And hey, don't forget the nuclear bombs, because this whole system, that's going to be the cherry on top. Those nuclear bombs and Yahweh's second coming. But now I'm going to get some precepts dealing with this, because like I said, a lot of you elites and even a lot of you higher ups out there, you're going to survive the coming destruction just so you can be the first fruits of slavery in the kingdom of heaven. This is Amos chapter 9. I'm going to start at verse 1. And the header reads, God's judgment, unavoidable. I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, Smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. These elites and other higher-ups in society, though they're going to flee and escape this destruction and survive, they won't be able to flee and escape Yahweh and the 144,000 who are fishers of men right now, but are going to be hunters with new spiritual bodies and spiritual powers, like 144,000 omni-men out there going to all your hideouts and dragging you out by your hair to slap those cold iron chains on you. Though they dig into hell, which when you go into that word hell in the Strongs, it's Sheol, or the grave. So these underground bunkers, those domes, deep underground military bases, thence shall mine hand take them. The elect are gonna dig underground like what was that game? Dig or whatever it was to get you. Though they climb up to heaven, the second heaven, specifically low orbit space with those space stations. Hey, it's not for nothing that both Elon Musk, Richard Brand, and Jeff Bezos all came up with what? Luxury space travel for the wealthy. So this is talking about, those space stations and other space apparatuses that some of these elites are going to escape to. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. The elect are going to go up into the heavens to get you. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, which was a mountain, so these deep mountain bases, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, undersea bases and luxury submarines, which you can look those up, they're also undersea highways. Thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. So not only are the elect, the 144,000, going to go under the water like Aquaman to get you, but Leviathan is going to get some working on you as well. But now I'm going to close it out in Revelation chapter 6. I'm going to read verse 12 to the end. And remember what that last paragraph said. There's no need to worry about nuclear bombs, but real life. Well, nuclear bombs are real life. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, speaking of these nuclear missiles being shot to the ends of the earth. And as it says in Isaiah chapter 24, the earth shall rock to and fro like a drunkard. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. The sun can go into knowledge and the moon can go into wisdom. So when these nukes start flying, hey, that's going to be the end of Esau Edom, the so-called white man's, knowledge and wisdom, his pseudosciences and, his philosophies that he uses to trick the people. The nukes are going to wipe all that away. Verse 13, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And, this has a twofold meaning. On the one hand, it's talking about those nukes because they're going to look like stars falling out of the sky when they're coming down. And on the other hand, these stars can go into these different idols and gods. And, even these people that are higher up in society that the average person looks up to, they're going to fall from their high and lofty position when those nukes fly. They're going to have no power to stop it. And then you're going to see who the real power is. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. And that's talking about that mushroom cloud, because when it goes up and billows into itself, it looks like a scroll rolling together. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth and the great men, the elites and the super rich and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men, these higher ups in the military, these higher ups in government, and every bondman and every freeman hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, going to their bunkers, going to their mountain bases, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, Yahweh, the heavenly Father, and from the wrath of the Lamb, Yahweh Shai, his son. And best believe that the elites at the top, they understand the scriptures and know that when those nukes fly, hey, what comes next? Yahweh Shai and the 144,000 coming to get their ass. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? And that's a rhetorical question. No one will be able to stand in the face of him that sitteth on the throne and the wrath of the Lamb, and the Lamb's 144,000. So that's it with this video. Hey, just another prophecy update. These prophecies, are flying off the pages now. We truly are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. So with this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. And, I'm going to say shalom.